This thing right here? Look at that guy. Look at this thing. Where did this guy come from? Oh, look at this. We got a whole nice ESPN LA 710 thing going on here. Hey, look at that. What's up, guys? What's happening? How is everybody happy? I know I'm really happy, especially after that blast. After that blast from Yasiel Puig, right? Did we see the bat flip? Everybody saw that bat flip, right? That thing was just tossed into the air like it meant nothing to him. Oh, it was such a beautiful, beautiful thing. Oh, I love this. So let's start this off the right way to do this, right? We know that the Dodgers won. They swept the Rockies 2.5 back, or 2.5 up now on the Rockies, even bigger up on the Diamondbacks. I don't even care. I didn't even see what the Diamondbacks did today. I was so engrossed in that game, just as I know all of you were as well. So let's start this off the right way like we like to do. We started doing it last time. Tell me where you're at. I want to know exactly where you're at. Where were you watching Yasiel Puig drop a blast off of Scott Oberg, which everybody knew was going to... I was sitting right next to my girlfriend. We were sitting there, we were watching the game, and at the beginning of the inning, I said to her, I went, oh man, Oberg pitched last night. Tie game. He pitched an inning, a little over an inning last night. He's tired. I don't think he's going to get beat up hard right here. 4 batters later, Puig... See ya. Oh man, that was beautiful. So tell me, where are you at? I got a Fresno here on Periscope. I'm trying to get the ESPN Periscope up. I'm not sure if it's working out so well, but I got it everywhere else going up here. Look at, I got Cybernetic Slayer and Brandon Marquez on YouTube, Camarillo, California. I got Oregon, San Francisco, Mexico City, San Luis Obispo, Manila. People are calling from Manila. Look at that. Bellflower, California. Oh, this dude's on the toilet, so good for you. You know, wherever you got to watch the game, that's where you got to watch the game. Oh, in the 805, Fontana. I know a lot of people from Fontana. Victorville, California. Cerritos, woo. Yep, yee with my wife and son. Puig. Love it. Greetings, Greg. Watch the game from... Aguas Calientes, Mexico. Oh, see, look at this. All over the world. Wyoming, Arcadia, the bathroom again, Bakersfield, Vegas, Camarillo, in the shower. Oh, hey, look, you're watching us in the shower. Hey, good for you, you know. If you want to watch in the shower, you want to watch in the shower. If you're going to watch where you feel like it. El Paso, Texas, Austin, Texas, Idaho, Lake Tahoe. What a team. That's what I'm talking about. Napomo, Zami Castellanos. I know people up in Napomo. This is so big. I'm so happy. Look, how great is this, right? All right, I'll get a few more in here. All right, Dodgers. I know I got some more coming in here. Auckland, Australia, North Korea, Jackson, Mississippi, Richmond, Kentucky. Look at you guys. Chico, California, San Jose. Did you print it out and put it on your fridge? I put everything on my fridge. La Mirada, Oxnard, Colton, California. I'm in LA. I like, you know what, Jeremy? You like who you like to like, but we love both Mason and Ireland. And we're going to talk a lot about this game right here on ESPN LA tomorrow, talking about this game. We're going to start this game, the Mason Ireland show. You know who else is going to talk a lot about this show? It's going to work. We're going to be talking about this all on the morning show. We're going to be talking about this on the Sedano show. This is going to be everywhere. This is your A story, unless LeBron does something crazy. And if LeBron does something crazy, then obviously that's what happens. But Lakewood, California, Downey, Denton, Texas, all over you guys. I think we need to work on the bugs out on the ESPN LA Periscope account. I'm sorry. We'll try and get this done, ready to go perfectly on Friday. We'll do a test, see what we can do there. But go to Colombia. Auckland is in New Zealand. Look at you, man. Look from everywhere. I love some of this. All right. We'll do a little bit more shout outs later in the day. But from now, let's get into the actual game itself. Can I get up my little screen there? How fun is this? This is so much fun. I mean, as much as I love the fact that the Dodgers won, I would not be so upset if they lost. They still take 2 of 3, but they won. And the 3 games, they take all 3, and they've taken 5 of the last 6. It's now 6 of the last 7. They are just on fire right now, and it's so much fun to watch. Last year, and it was fun to watch then, but they're starting to get to that point where they were before. Last year, this was a team that was just so far ahead, 10, 12 games in front of everybody else. And you're just waiting and waiting and waiting to get to the postseason. This year, it's just a blast. You're living and dying by every pitch, every game. Yasiel Puig hitting a home run. Chris Taylor last night hitting a home run. all of that is just so big. Like, and it's just so, and it feels so much better this year because it's such a tight race. And this is, like, we don't get this very often, right? Where it takes it all the way down to the wire like this. I love it. It's so much fun. All right, let me talk about Walker Buehler for just a second here. This guy pitched his butt off tonight. He had some issues in that first inning. He threw 36 pitches in that first inning. He ended up going 6 and throwing 102 with 12 Ks. Most ever for him. He kept hitting 9 a couple of times. Tonight, 12 Ks. He struck out Arenado by himself 3 times. Easy. So Walker Buehler looks like to be the real deal. And really, in those 6 innings, it was 0 earned. He had 2 that were unearned because in that first inning there was that boot where Cody Bellinger couldn't pick it up at first base, and then if you can take off that bottom screen, it's covering my face. Thank you. Cody Bellinger blocked it or just went underneath him. Then Charlie Blackmon scored, and DJ LeMahieu got that I can't say, like, I got ESPN behind me. I can't say the real word there, but. Anyway, they got that shot right up the middle, and they got those 2 unearned runs. And after that, nothing. And that's all on Walker Buehler. He had 36 pitches in the first inning. He had 36 pitches the next 3 innings. And he had 8 Ks by that time, or 6 Ks through the next 3 innings. Or 8. No, it was 8, because it was 2 in the first and 6 in the next 3. And he ended up with 12. That is the guy you want to see in the number 2 spot every single time. He's already at 140 innings pitched. Guess what? That 140 innings pitched, not a thing. We talked about it at the very beginning. The Walker Buehler's inning count was not a real thing. If it mattered in September, he was going to pitch. And guess what? It matters in September. It's going to be pitching. Hard hit balls. There's a great follow on Twitter. He is actually the stat guy for Joe Davis and Oral Hershiser. His name is Rick Krajewski. His name is Rick_K21. This dude has the best stats, period. Straight fire every single time. And he gave me a great one tonight. I mentioned that there was so many hard hit balls in those first 3 innings, and they just weren't dropping besides that Kemp home run, which was a thing of beauty as well. But Rick ended up coming back to me and saying that, just so we're all aware, the Dodgers had 6 hits that were over 95 miles per hour. So hard hit ball, 95 miles per hour off the bat, and only 1 landed. 1, and that was the Matt Kemp home run. Just to give it a little bit of idea of how that works in the Major League Baseball itself. Players that have a hard hit ball that's 95 miles an hour or above are hitting 541. 541, and they were at 1 of 6. That's why the balls weren't light. They were hitting the ball hard, and that's how this team has been for so long. It has just been a hard hitting teams, and they're just blasting balls. Sometimes they're going to land in gloves. That's baseball. But so it doesn't matter. That was just, they've been playing really, really well. And I got to give the bullpen some love. Kenley Jansen looked great again tonight. Kenta Maeda, after last night, he is in that role. Kenta Maeda knows what he's doing, and then you bring in Scott Alexander, he does what he's supposed to do. He gets Matt Holliday, who had been really hot, ground ball. That's what Scott Alexander does, and we'll get a little bit. I'm sure you guys are going to ask me about the bullpen at some point, and when you do, I still have my notes from the other day. Remember? See, they're still on my paper here. So I don't have any notes, any crazy notes except for those ones. I kept them in my head, but I've got all those notes for you guys tonight. But this is what we're going to get into, a lot of it. So I got to give the bullpen some love. Caleb Ferguson came in throwing bombs. Everybody looked real. Even Pedro Baez for his one at bat. He gave up what he was supposed to. It was a fly ball, that's it. Pedro Baez did his job. And now it's a 2.5 game lead. And what do you know? Walking away with the division like DN Postgame has told you for the last 2.5 months. All right, I know what you guys want to do. I know you guys are here to talk and ask questions and say a bunch of crazy things, but I'm sure everybody's really happy tonight, so we're going to start doing that. Can you just please take away my topics, and we'll go right into you guys here. I got a bunch of people on YouTube tonight, so I don't want to ignore you. I got Cybernetic Slayer Maeda starting to look like the 2017 NL playoff self. Yep, sure does. I got a response from Joe Davis. Joe Davis is my buddy. I like that guy a lot. I actually met him with the whole Dodgers Nation crew in a game that Yasmani Grandal hit a walk-off home run in, actually, by the way. The first one of this year. All right, let's see what we got here on Facebook. I'm going to go all the way to the bottom. So if everybody that was talking about before, I'm sorry. I got to go to the next one. Nice to see you in a Dodgers hat tonight. Yeah, you know what, Patrick? I got to wear the Dodgers hat every once in a while. I mix up the Dodgers hat as much as I possibly can. Sometimes I'll wear, the Travis Matthew hat, or sometimes I'll wear, just one that's an ESPN LA hat or whatever it is. Tonight, I got to go with my Dodgers. 2.5 up. I got to go Dodgers hat. I got to tell you the truth, though. This hat, I got it at the World Series last year. See what it's doing to my head? This is why I don't wear it very often. It's so tight. I got it at the World Series Game 7 last year, and the thing is just not fitting my head well, so I have to put it up high. If not, I get that big red spot. So we're going to wear it for the hour, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to wear it for the hour, and that's fine. October 25th, 25 roster. Any picks on who might be nipped? Oh, man, it's so Nick Stocks. I know you like to ask these questions, but it's tough, man. The bullpen is one thing, but the actual starting the starting lineup, the batting order, it changes so much. I don't know who to sit. I don't know who's not going to make it, but you have to assume they have so many people in there that they're going to take 13 and they'll only take 12 pitchers. And also the way that the starting pitchers have been going, they're going deeper into the games, so you kind of have to think that they're going to stick around a little bit more. We can go through it all, but I'm telling you, let me get a little bit of water and again, Facebook is going to take this picture. But I'm okay with it because it says ESPN LA behind me. So, you know what? Have at it taking the sip. All right. AJ Gonzalez, what's up, man? I'm glad you're watching tonight. I know you had fun. Man, AJ Gonzalez, he's at AJ on the guitar on Twitter. He had one of the best tweets I've ever seen from a Dodgers Nation writer. He was on Dodgers Nation account, and he had this, he had like the Puig licking the bat, but it was like they were talking about from The Office, the butt licker. Oh, it was the best tweet ever. Loved it. Go find AJ Gonzalez. Puig is saying, chicks dig the long ball, Ryan. Yeah, but that's exactly what he's saying, especially after this weekend when he hit 5 in 24 hours, and now this big bomb. Absolutely, chicks dig the long ball tonight. And you know what they really dig, Ryan? They really dig 2 other people on base to make it a 3-run home run, because that's not what's been happening for most of this year, but it's happening now at the exact right time. So that's what we're going to say about that. Brian Hatfield, what's up? What's up, man? Welcome to see you. A perfect game win, John Vasquez on Facebook. A perfect game win with hitting, running, pitching, and the pen. This is how Dodger baseball was built to be played. Next, absolutely. And now they have San Diego coming in, they have just torn apart San Diego this year. And all my friends down in San Diego, your team sucks. Sorry, it's just how it is. I hate to say that out, whatever, but they're bad, and the Dodgers have owned them this year. Hopefully, we don't go through this whole same thing where you beat up on the bad team, or you beat up on the good teams and you lose to the bad teams. I still got faith, but let's really look at what's happening in this division. Right now, in the last 10 games, the Dodgers are 8-2. In the last 10 games for the Rockies, they are 3-7 or 2-8. In the last 10 games for the Arizona Diamondbacks, they were 2 of 8 coming into tonight. I don't know what they did tonight because I was not paying attention to the Diamondbacks, because they are out of it. They were 5 back. They're done. I don't care about the Diamondbacks, but they are losing. And what you're seeing is a team like the Dodgers that know how to win when it counts in September, whereas the Rockies and the Diamondbacks, who are right there toe-to-toe the entire year, guess what? You don't know how to win when it counts. I'm sorry. That's what happens when you see a team like the Dodgers doing what they're doing. To the fact that I know that Arizona, I think actually Arizona was up 2-0 on the Cubs, but they sat Paul Goldschmidt and David Peralta, and I think AJ Pollock as well. That means they've thrown in the towel. They are done. They don't care anymore. And now after the Padres, we have to go to Arizona, and guess what? That pool is looking mighty, mighty nice again this year. Chewy Madriz, who will be the toughest team to beat in the playoffs? Chicago Cubs. Always going to be the Chicago Cubs. They have pitching, they have hitting, they have defense. That is a very, very good team, and I think that you're going to see the Cubs and Dodgers in the NLCS for years to come. This is going to be most likely, I mean, it's a crapshoot when it gets into the playoffs, but most likely this year and for the next 3-4 years, it's going to be Cubs and Dodgers because they're young and they have everything. They're young, they're deep, and they have, and the Diamondbacks won tonight. Young, deep, pitching, hitting, defense, and that's how it is. And you have analytic minds in there. Theo Epstein over in Chicago is an analytic mind that knows how to win, just like Andrew Friedman and Farhan Zaidi are analytic minds that know how to win. So we're going to see a lot of that. All right, let me move over to Periscope. I wish I had the ESPN one up, but I just couldn't make it happen. Oh, it's just flying on here tonight. You guys are moving too fast. Are you on 710 right now? Sorry, I missed the info. It's not working right now. I'm sorry, J9 Mama. It's hopefully by Friday, but ESPN LA is with me. I'm gonna make sure that I can get on with them next time. I don't know why. I set it up to make sure that it was there. Something didn't click. I don't know what it was. Hopefully we can make that work. He hits. Let's see. This is from CMMR DDL. You have more to it than that, but I can't. He hits lefties and pretty much since his arrival, the Dodgers have hit left-handed pitchers much better. Maybe you're talking about David Freese. I think it must be David Freese because since he's got just having big, long, professional at-bats. Sorry how that sounded. He has good, great professional at-bats where he's seeing 7 to 10 pitches and he's getting hits and he's getting doubles that when it actually matters, he's been there before. So that's what that's about. All right, Puig was big time tonight. Absolutely he was. All right, here you go. Floro, Alexander, Ferguson, Baez, Maeda have all been solid lately. You're missing guys that have been solid lately. Zach Roskup has been great recently. He had an immaculate inning just not too long ago. He's not giving up runs. Who else do I have on here? I have Kenley, Maeda, Roskup, Ferguson, Alexander, Floro. Venditti's been pitching really well. Floro's been great. He looked good. That's your righty that throws a sinker that's going to get ground balls as well. There's so many guys, and that's not even talking about Tony Cingrani being back. That's not talking about Josh Fields and Julio Urias. I'm sorry for bringing up Julio Urias because we're not actually going to talk about Julio Urias because he's not gonna be a factor whatsoever. Kofefe Coffee, Diamondback won over Cubs. Thank you. I did see that on YouTube. And look, we got a bunch of people watching on YouTube tonight. Thank you. And stay on and talk to me. I'm here to talk to you. Sandra Herrera in El Paso, Texas. Happy to speak to you, too. Venditti, yep, that's another guy. Roberts was a genius tonight, putting Twigster on the right time. All right, here we go. I love you. Who are you? Jacob Caldera. Jacob Caldera on Periscope. Were you 2 weeks ago calling for Robert's head and how terrible he was? You can say that he's a genius tonight, but you have to say that he was the same guy that he was before. It's just the bats are starting to, the hits are starting to fall, so it looks much better. And the bullpen, let's be fair with the bullpen. The bullpen in the ninth inning and beyond was god-awful. Scott Alexander couldn't get it done. Ross Cup couldn't get it done. Dylan Floro couldn't get it done. Even Caleb Ferguson wasn't even getting it done. A lot of these guys couldn't get it done in the ninth inning without Maeda, without Kenley Jansen. Now that Kenley Jansen is back, they were getting it done in the earlier innings. 6 to 8, they were getting it done, and they're starting to get it done again now. And that's, you can see when they don't have that crazy high pressure of being the closer that is specifically for Kenley Jansen, you can see that it's getting much, much better. And that's why they were saying it on the broadcast tonight, the number 2 bullpen in all of baseball. All of it. All of baseball, the Dodgers have the number 2 bullpen whatsoever in all of baseball. And that's a huge, huge deal. And I want you to go on tomorrow morning. I know all of you are here. I want you to go tomorrow. Go to the morning show. They're on from 6 to 9 a.m., 6 to 10 a.m. actually. 6 to 10 a.m. talking. It's LZ, Keyshawn Johnson, and Travis Rogers. Go tell Travis what you're seeing here. Go put it in his face that the Dodgers are up 2.5 games. Go tell LZ when he gave up on the Dodgers 2 weeks ago that he was crazy. I know, I love LZ. He was, last night during that Taylor home run, LZ was just knocking, was putting it out on Twitter all over the place, saying huge knock and all this stuff. It was great. All of ESPN LA is really, really involved in all of this, and you can tell. Go tell LZ and go tell Keyshawn, who gave up on the Dodgers also months ago. They're back. They're going to the World Series, and I'm saying it. They're winning the World Series. I just gotta believe, and you gotta believe there with me. So, all right, let's see what else we got here. I was wondering what in the world, this is Michael Riley on Facebook. I was wondering what in the world Roberts was thinking with Puig Player of the Week in the NL and sitting on the bench against left-handed pitchers. But looking at the stats, unlike most right-handed hitters, he hits far better against right-handed pitchers than left-handed pitchers. 17 of his 21 home runs have come against right-handed pitching. Good call. Exactly, Michael. He has reverse splits, where he is a righty that hits better off of righties and instead of hitting off of lefties. It's weird, and that's not how most of the Dodgers are, but that's why you're going to see him in against righties and not against lefties. But look, he comes in tonight against Scott Oberg. See ya. And you knew it was going to happen because he pitched too well the night before, and he's not that great of a pitcher. Andrew Martinez, Facebook, you say getting in the playoffs is hardest. Who's the underdog to make it to the World Series from the AL? The underdog, I mean, there's so many good teams that are going to make it in the AL that you have to give it to the Indians or the Yankees at this point, right? So really the underdog, probably the Indians, and they're really good. You have the Red Sox, you have the Yankees, the Astros, you have, I think the A's are right in it, but then the Indians, and I'm missing one. It's either Seattle's out of it. I believe it's the A's. That's who I think that's got to be in the other wild card spot. I haven't paid as much attention to the AL, but I think it's the A's. And so it'd have to be whoever that second wild card spot is, I believe the A's, or Cleveland. I mean, they're the lesser of the teams at this point, right? So it's crazy to say that a team that went to the World Series and lost in Game 7 2 years ago is now the underdog to make it to the World Series. There is no underdog in the AL. They're all really good, but I'm telling you, in the NL, it's the Dodgers, it's the Cubs, and those are your tops. What'd I do again, Brian Hatfield? See, there you go again, Greg. I did something. So you tell me what I did again, Brian. Apparently I'm saying something crazy to you, but that's totally fine. Any possibility the Dodgers can actually get the NL's best record? It's going to be tough. The Cubs losing tonight, that's a big deal. Hope the Cubs losing tonight makes it so it's now 5 games back. I think they have 5 losses more than the Cubs. The Dodgers have 5 losses more than the Cubs, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that's 3. So it was the A's are 3. I believe it's 5 games back from the Cubs, and I think that's going to be too much with 9 games to play. It's still possible. I wouldn't count on that. I would assume that the Cubs are going to take home field advantage throughout the playoffs. That's fine. The Dodgers hit in Wrigley Field. They better have Cole Hamels pitching one of those games, which they probably will. All right, let's see. Let's go to Periscope because I know you guys are on fire right now. I just had who's number 3 starter in playoff, Ryu or Hill? God, it's so tough. It depends on what you want to do because it's a great question because obviously Kershaw and Buehler are your 1 and 2, right? So then that means, I don't have Periscope. Give me 1 second. I am so sorry. Let's get this going. Let me just get Instagram up real fast. Instagram, I'm sorry guys, I went about 30 minutes without bringing you on, so I apologize about that. I had so many other things on my mind that you came into last. But alright, so I was talking about the playoff roster and the playoff starting rotation. And the starting rotation, no matter what, is going to be, dudes, it's going to be Kershaw 1, Buehler 2. And that's lefty-righty. Hill is a lefty, Ryu's a righty, so it's going to be one of those things where you're going to go where you want to go there. Maybe I'm getting that wrong. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I think that Hill is probably your number 3 starter. He's probably that guy. In the playoffs, he knows how to win, and he's done it. He pitched great in the World Series last year. He's been pitching well, except he's given up the long ball, and that's kind of the problem with him right now. He's not giving up hits, and when he does, it's a home run. So he's just got to bring that down. If he does, he's great, and he's been playing great. So I think Ryu is going to be one of your top 4. I mean, it's really who's... Because then that Stripling's pitching well, but I think Ryu has to be in the top 4. He's pitched way too well this year. Let's see. Ryu is a lefty man. See, I knew it. I was saying it in my mind, and I know. I just said he was a righty. I apologize. Yes, he is a lefty. I said to myself, I think I got that wrong. But yes, lefty. Maeda's a righty. Got it all. Yes, I apologize. Sometimes they all get mixed up with me. All right. Do you believe Roberts will allow starters to go deep or yank early like last year? This is where Roberts and Farhan Zaidi and Andrew Friedman all make the decision for themselves. They know what they want. They know that they want you don't want to see in the playoffs a pitcher go 3 times through the lineup. That's how they feel. So with a guy like Hill, it's weird because he has a reverse split in the same way where he's better against the end of the lineup in the 3rd time through than he is the 1st time through. So you want to see him go 3, but they're not letting him do that. You can say it burns the bullpen. You can say that it's the wrong decision, but that's kind of how Farhan Zaidi and Andrew Friedman work because they want to play the matchups the best that they can possibly play. And when they do that, people like us, fans, get upset, right? So, but for the most part, no. I don't think you're going to see a starter go deeper into the playoffs. The only two, I do think that they're going to let Walker Buehler go deep. I think that they'll let Kershaw go as deep as he needs to. Buehler is young. He's 24 years old. Will they let him go deep? I think so. But if he's in any kind of trouble, they're going to yank him because they don't know what he's going to pitch like in the playoffs. And that's a much bigger deal than pitching here. He's pitching in big game. Tonight was a big game. That game again on Saturday against the Cardinals, that was a huge game for him to come through on, or it was Friday, whatever day it was. It was a huge day for him. So it's all going to be it's all going to be how he does. All right, overdoing the matchup thing. You can say that. It's true, but that's how they work in the front office. So as much as I don't want to, that's just how it's going to be. Everyone hates Roberts, but he gets this team through tough times. Now he's got them clicking. Exactly, because that's what Dave Roberts does, right? Dave Roberts is the guy that keeps the clubhouse together. Dave Roberts is the guy that is going to go talk to you after the game and pep you up. Dave Roberts is the guy that's going to sit at the podium afterwards and tell you everything that Farhan Zaidi and Andrew Friedman have ingrained into his brain. He is the guy that is just there for the clubhouse and to keep everybody together. Andrew Friedman, Farhan Zaidi are the guys that you want to be thinking about. And you know what? Mason and Ireland talk about this all the time, and I guarantee you this is another thing they're going to be talking about tomorrow or as we get closer to the playoffs is this exact question that I just got asked. What they're going to do in the playoffs. Are they going to let guys like Buehler go deeper? That's a great topic. We're going to talk about it tomorrow because that's what's coming. So go listen to us tomorrow. We're going to do that same exact thing. All right, let me go back over to Facebook. All right, let's see. I'm not worried about Machado. The Dodgers have a different hero every game. I agree, Kevin. Machado is a guy, though, he's just not getting it done in the big-time moments. It's a lot of solo home runs. But he does do one thing, and you're going to notice it a lot. He didn't do it tonight, unfortunately, but he has been. Justin Turner will get on base. He will move Justin Turner over to third almost every time. It seems like it's almost every time. So Machado is going to do that. It's what you're not getting out of him is the guy that you were getting in Baltimore, and that's fine. But as the number 3 hitter, you need him to have more power. He also is not used to Dodger Stadium at night when it drops 15 degrees at 7:30, when he's hitting these blasts that he thinks is going to go, it's going to be a bomb, and it hits the top of the wall because he's not sure, because he thought it was gone, and he barely gets into second. Those are types of things. At Camden Yards, that ball's gone, and it's still going. But here at Dodger Stadium, it's different. So those, and you can see it, Dozier did the same thing tonight too. Another ball that just went to the edge of the warning track, but he did have a huge hit to tie up that game too. All right, Greg, you see the Cubs got hit by losing another ex-Dodgers pitcher, Morrow, out for the season. Yes, Brian, I did see that, and that's a huge deal for them. Everyone's like, well, who's going to be the next Morrow? Why didn't we re-sign Morrow? Well, he's not here anyway, so we're not re-signing. We're not seeing anybody. All right, let me see on Instagram. A Giants fan that needs attention. I don't know. I missed that one. Out of here. Oh, apparently he's a Giant fan. You know, when the Dodgers won the other night, the Giants got eliminated for the playoffs, so I don't know what you're talking about. If Dodgers get a home field advantage, I think Rich Hill will pitch Game 2 because he pitches better at home than away. That's true, but you're not messing with that. Walker Buehler will pitch Game 2. I don't care where he is. He does pitch. He pitches well everywhere, and Hill does pitch better at home, and maybe that's a possibility, but I honestly believe you do not break up the 1-2 punch of Kershaw Buehler. And that's a big thing. And you know what? And this is a great point by John Ireland today. He said the exact thing in that right now you have to just pull away because you don't want to use Buehler or Kershaw at the end of the year in order to have them just rested and ready for the beginning of the playoffs. That's a great point. All right, Machado is 4 for the last 26 after one big game against St. Louis. Machado, that's what we're talking about. Machado just hasn't been doing what he's going to be fine, though. Machado is a top 5 player, and his defense has been phenomenal. He'll be in there every single night, and that's just how it's going to be. Great to see Dozier double tonight and fly deep. Absolutely. Dozier getting bat on ball is a huge, huge deal because he hadn't been doing it. He just has been, it was like 3 for his last 20-something. It looked really bad, and now he's starting to kind of figure it out. Andrew Martinez, in the weather temp drop, do you see the Dodger game times ever changing? Well, once you get to the playoffs, most games start around 5 p.m. These 7-10 starts don't really happen because now you're in the playoffs. And every game starts around 5 o'clock, especially for these West Coast teams. Because the East Coast wants to see the game too. So you're going to see a lot more earlier games. You're not going to see that 7 o'clock game once they get into the playoffs. So the Dodger game times will not be changing until the playoffs. Stop being biased. All right. At first, I didn't understand why Roberts took out Dozier in favor of Puig, and Dozier was making a solid contact on it, but that ended being a brilliant move. And then there's a lot of, it's always kind of a head scratcher. They have a reason for everything, and when they work out, they work out. And it worked out tonight. Puig had been so hot, and when he's going up against Oberg, who had some extra time, who was already in the game the night before, and been pitched a lot of pitches, and he had 2 guys on, you knew he wasn't right. That is on the Rockies for not coming in and taking him out. So that was a mistake. That was a mistake, 100%. Patrick Cullen, Greg, do you think the Dodgers will go after a starting pitcher in the offseason? If they do not pick up Machado, Ryu is a free agent, maybe Patrick Corbin. I know he's a snake, but he is pretty good. Do I think they go after a pitcher? I think they're fine with pitchers, actually. And I think they're going to keep kind of what they got going on here. They may go after one, but they're not going to spend a ton of money anymore. If they're going to spend money, it's going to be on Clayton Kershaw or Manny Machado or possibly Brian Dozier. It really depends on what they want to do. But I don't see them going after a front-end number 1 starter because you already have 2, and Stripling's been looking good. Wood's been looking good when he's earlier in the year. I think a lot of that's not going to change. I think you may find one, but for the most part, I think they were going to try and re-sign Ryu. He's been out. He's not going to get a better deal somewhere else. So they're going to see a lot of the same guys because they want to keep that core together, and that's just what's going to happen. Mike Hoffer, I care because it's in the playoffs. You need your stars to step up. Reason we lost last year because Jansen blew a save and Kershaw blew 2-run leads. Look, those are 2 4-run leads. That's all true. I don't like talking about the World Series because it hurts. I don't like it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. We're going to move on from the World Series. We are in September. We're in mid-September, and we're still talking about last year's World Series. No, I won't do it. I promise. Look at this. This is just getting bad. This is why I don't wear this Dodgers hat, but I love it so much that I can't not wear it. Ow. I can actually see it. This giant red line. God. All right. Anyway. Wisney's has said, yeah, well, okay, I mean, there's a lot of that stuff. It's a sort of move, Puig. I'm sick of the anti-Dodger bias by the ESPN and Fox announcer. Anti-diet bias? Dodger. Jessica Mendoza's from California. She went to Stanford. There's no anti. The bias that you're seeing is not a real bias. Let's just be honest with it. Even if they do, they call everything the same. Totally fine. It's not ESPN. It's not Fox. It's not, whoever you want to talk about, TNT or TBS. They're all calling the game as they see it. Whatever. Peaking at the right time. Yes, they are peaking at the right time. Dodgers should keep younger Machado and get rid of Turner. Wow. Herm tweet. That is a bad tweet. You do not get rid of Justin Turner. Do you realize that Justin Turner is the best player in baseball right now? He's not just the best hitter on the Dodgers right now. He is the best hitter in all of baseball since he changed his stance. So getting rid of Turner is crazy. He broke his wrist. This isn't some crazy thing. This is just it was a fluke play, and he broke his wrist, and he came back strong. So no. Joe Buck. Everyone getting in on Joe Buck now. Let's just say this, okay? Joe Davis and Oral Hershiser are fantastic. Don't care about anybody else. You don't have to like them. You can love them. You can hate them. Whatever. Boog Shambi is great. There's a lot of these guys. That's a good friend of George's too. He had Boog on the other day. Really good stuff. Smart guy. All right. So there's a whole bunch of things. All right. There's a lot of these. Purple and gold. Lakers better than Rams. Better than Dodgers. Look, here's the thing. In LA, and this is a topic of conversation, a normal topic of conversation. The Lakers and Dodgers are 1A and 1B. The Lakers with LeBron are 1A, but the Dodgers in the World Series or in the playoffs is also 1B until it gets to time when LeBron is playing in a game. The Dodgers are the number 1 team, and that's what I'm honestly believe that to my. Let's see. Seager can play third due to his height if they want to talk about moving over. Yeah, I mean, Seager can play second. He can play third, but he just had Tommy John, so how's that arm going to go from third to first? Turner can make that throw, but he has played second in the past. You can move a lot of things. Machado is just a really, really tough it was a really, really tough sell. He hasn't been lighting it on fire, and he's going to get $300 to $400 million, and it's going to be a whole bunch of stuff. So he wants to play shortstop. Seager wants to play shortstop. It's all going to be, what wants what. Greg, just your opinion. Who would you rather have on the 25-man roster, Urias or Baez? I mean, if you're going to put me in a little box of the two that I'd rather have, I would rather... You're really going to make me say this right now at this moment? That's just mean. That's cruel. At this moment, right now, if you're going to make me choose between the two, I'm going to take Baez. He's pitched much better than, and Urias has to have 4 days in between starts. He's only hitting 92. He's not the guy that he was. Look at him, slumped over. You got me upset trying to say nice things about Pedro Baez. That's just mean. That was a jerky thing to do. Let's see. Yes, we can. All right, let's see. Let's go over here to Instagram so I haven't talked too much. Don't say it. Yeah, I had to. You just died a little inside. I did. Anytime I say something nice about Pedro Baez, there is a little piece of me that dies, and I hate it so much. But you know what? You got to say what you got to say, and you have to be real. You come here because I tell you the truth, not because I'm lying to you, and it's just this. Oh, it hurts so bad. Let's see. Barnes can play second in an emergency, and you can call up Kyle Farmer to catch if Grandal can't. DJ Jimenez, or D. Jimenez. Unfortunately, we talk about this a lot. Kyle Farmer is no longer a catcher. He is just a guy that is... he's a utility guy. He can play third. He can play second. I'm sure he can play all around the infield, maybe first. But he's not playing catcher anymore. They don't like his defensive abilities, and that's why Rocky Gale is your third catcher right now, even though you never see him because they don't trust him. But Rocky Gale is the guy right now. It's not Kyle Farmer. He's just a pinch hitter, and that's it for this team right now. You won't see him in the playoffs. So take your dream of Kyle Farmer and you can kind of just push it aside because it's unfortunately not the truth. What you're going to see is guys like Keibert Ruiz and Will Smith that are going to be up. There's also another guy, Wong, who's a really good catcher as well down in the minors. So they have a lot of catchers that are easily going to be coming up soon, but it's not going to be Kyle Farmer. Dodgers will win the division 6 straight. I love it, Brian. You're absolutely right. I'm with you 100%. I've been saying it for months. Do the Dodgers re-sign Puig? Joe Bennett, yes, most likely because he's arbitration eligible. And he's had probably his best year offensively since that first year where he just went bananas. He is a guy now, his defensive war is not as great. You remember the plays where he dives over walls and catches things. He runs full speed into a wall and catches it and falls on his back and he's hurting. Or he'll kick a ball and he'll gun a guy out at third, and you remember the gun out at third. But he has a .1 defensive WAR, meaning he's basically he's a replacement level player when it comes to his defensive abilities. Even though he was fantastic last year, he's just not the same this year. I still trust him in right field, but he's been really good. He's been on fire right now. You have to say it. He's one of 8 Dodgers that have 20 home runs. And Chris Taylor has 17. He's right behind to make it 9, which is just bananas. But so He's arbitration eligible, Puig, and so most likely you're going to see Puig get re-signed for $10-12 million on a 1-year deal, and just maybe they try and bring him back longer, but he's got to show that he's going to keep it up. And really, he's an 8th hitter right now. I mean, he's a part-time guy. I love Puig, and I have absolutely nothing bad to say about him except for some of his defensive abilities. But you kind of live with the good and the bad with him, and that's kind of a tough place to be sometimes. Smith and Ruiz are good. Yes, Dodgers 12-6 in September. Absolutely. And remember, they lost their first 11 games last year in September, so this is a total reversal. Maybe that means it's a total reversal and they win the whole World Series. That's what I want to believe, and I'm going to believe it. Thank you very much. Yes, because it would help the team. Let's see. Definitely re-sign Puig. Puig gets some better security, please. He does need it. That's 4 times Puig has been broken into. That's crazy. They're just gunning for him right now. His house got... Yes, 4 times. 2 of the 8 weren't here 2 months ago. That's right. Who do you see the Dodgers playing in the first round? Most likely, they're going to play the Braves. And I got to dig deeper into the Braves, but most likely they're going to see the Braves. They are now a game or 2 ahead of the Braves, and that means it's going to be a home field advantage versus them. But that is a good young team. However, as much as they're a good young team, they're young, extremely young, have not been there before. They're not ready for this. I don't expect them to go. I expect them to get knocked out in this first round in the NLDS. Maybe they win a game, but for the most part, I think the Dodgers win that in 4 because they just haven't been there. They don't know how to win when it comes to September and October. And when they do, they're going to be a tough team. They can make the playoffs again next year and just steamroll people because that is a good young team. I blame Bumgarner. You should blame Bumgarner. Anything that has to do with Puig, you blame Bumgarner. Everyone got their phones out when Puig came to the plate. That's right, because you just knew that was going to happen. Oberg not pitching well, you waiting for the flashes. It was beautiful. Dodgers versus Red Sox. Kershaw pitching at Fenway, Game 7. Oh, God, could you imagine that game? Kershaw at Fenway, Game 7. Ooh, that would be so much fun. Man, hey, ESPN, get me to that game. That's the game I want to go to. That's in the end of October. I'm happy to go. I'll do whatever you want. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. Please. Are the Dodgers really ready for the World Series? They are ready. They are now at a time, and this is from Nancy Ortiz on Facebook. They are now at a time where they're playing like they should be playing. They've all bought into the fact that they're not going to play every day. But they're seeing better pitches. They're having longer at-bats. It didn't happen tonight with Tyler Anderson, but for the most part, they're making pitchers pitch and get into those 20-pitch innings with regularity. And they're taking more, and they're seeing more walks. Kyle Freeland had 3 or 4 or 5 walks last night. That's rare for him. You can blame that on the umpires, and yes, we can get into the whole hashtag robotic umps. I'm with you. I want a robotic ump. I hate the umpires. They just don't have an idea what they're doing. But... they're all starting to just get on fire at the same time. Everybody, top to bottom, whoever they see, lefty, righty, they don't care. They're seeing the ball well, and they're hitting with power, and they're moving guys over. Did you see some of the things? You see Chris Taylor try and bunt, they say a suicide squeeze. I don't think it was a suicide squeeze. I think it was a safety squeeze. I think he was just trying to bunt. It was a bunt hit, what he was trying to do, to try and get a run scored. It didn't happen, but there's still the Dozier steal to third base. That doesn't happen. That's small ball, and that's what they need to be doing, and that's what they have been doing recently, and that's why they're winning games, and they're winning these games big. They're not these little small games. So, all right, Orion Montez, they seem to be ready. They're getting hot at the right time, and they're probably getting hotter at this point. Exactly. You're saying it versus Chris Sale. Ooh, Kershaw versus Chris Sale. That's some fire going between the two. Ooh, God, could you imagine could you imagine Chris Taylor seeing Chris Sale? Ooh, that's a strikeout waiting to happen on 3 pitches. But he has been really, really good. How sweep it is. Dodgers Dune 11:30. I agree. I love it. Let's see. Bunt for a hit. Yep, love that bunt hit. He didn't get on, but they tried to get the bunt hit. They're doing the little things now. They're all important things that's why they're winning games now, and that's why they're winning so well. I see them taking 2 of 3 from San Diego, 1 of 3 from Arizona, and 2 of 3 from the Giants. I don't know why you see them taking 1 of 3 from Arizona when they've been hot against some of these teams, and Arizona is not even playing guys anymore. Maybe they'll bring Goldschmidt and Peralta and Pollock back just for the Dodgers, but for the most part, they're not playing their guys. I don't think they just care. They totally gave up, and they're just trying to see what they got in the minor leagues. So you're seeing guys come up that just they're playing their AAA guys, and because they know that they're out of it. I just kicked my desk. I apologize. Hey, what's up, Wyatt? How you doing, buddy? Glenn Colby, Dodgers rule. Yes, they do. All right, let me go back over to Periscope. What's going to happen with Alex Wood? I don't know what's going to happen. He's fighting for a job in the bullpen right now. He is out of the starting rotation. It's not happening. But he is fighting for a job, and there's only a few guys. So we did this the other day. I'm going to go back to my beautiful notes because I have all the names written down, and I don't want to forget any. So let's do this all together, all right? You guys can help me out. We can all do this together, one-on-one. All right, or 1 on 300, 500, whatever, how many people are watching this right now. All right, so you're automatically, let's assume that you're going to get 12 guys in the bullpen, right, in the playoffs. 12 guys. So Kershaw, Buehler, Hill, Ryu, automatics. 100% automatics. That's 4. Then you have Kenley's an automatic. Maeda's an automatic. I think Scott Alexander's an automatic. If Cingrani gets healthy, but I can't count on him just yet because I need to see some more of him. But Cingrani, I'm not going to go with him. I really like Zach Roskup. So I think Zach Roskup is going to be your lefty out of that pen. Caleb Ferguson, I think, is definitely in there. Then Scott Alexander, 100% is going to be their ground ball pitcher. He's going to be in this. I think then you have guys like Floro and Venditti and Baez and Fields and Exford and Garcia and some of those guys. And then you know what? You know who I forgot? I forgot Stripling. I forgot Wood. Who do you want to throw in there for all this stuff? There's so many guys, and people are going to be left off. We're in a point where you got 7 guys that are automatic. Kershaw, Buehler, Hill, Ryu, Kenley, Maeda, and I'm going to say Ferguson. And actually, let's say Alexander. I think Ferguson, but I think Alexander for sure is in there. So at that point, you got 7 guys that are automatic. You still have room for 5 more, but you have to find that 5 more between Roskup, Ferguson, Floro, Venditti, Cingrani, Baez, Fields, Urias, Stripling, Wood, Axford, Garcia. You find me the 5. Tell me the 5 that you don't feel that you feel most comfortable with, because I think it changes from day to day. For the most part, if you want my actual 12, and I'll give you my 12 because I believe in it. Kershaw, Buehler, Hill, Ryu, Stripling, Kenta, Kenley, Roskup, Ferguson, Alexander, Floro. Those are my guys. I left off Cingrani, I left off Baez, I left off Wood, I left off Venditti, I left off Fields, because I think those guys are pitching the best right now. That could all change as we get closer to the end of September, but right now, those are the guys, because those are the guys that have been the workhorses that have been pitching the best. Chagua, I think he's on the 60-day DL. He's done. If not, he's done anyway. So there's a ton of guys, but that's really what it's going to come into. So I'm telling you, this bullpen is so much. There's so much going on. Love the show, man. Keep up the great work. Hey, appreciate you. Feet Uaria. I appreciate it. Feet Uaria. All right, however that is. Is Floro a free agent after the season? I haven't looked at his contract in a while. I know they just picked him up from Cincinnati, so he could be. I don't know. It's possible. I haven't really paid attention to his contract. I got to look at all that stuff when we get more closer to the end of the season. Right now, I'm worried about right now, and he's on this team right now. And you're talking about no Madison. I didn't even say Ryan Madsen, and that's a guy that's been there before. I don't trust him anyway, so I don't want to see Ryan Madsen. Bro, it's just way too many people. Oh, it's too crowded. But that's what you want. You want to have these tough decisions, because if they're all pitching well, you have a tough decision of who's pitching the best is going to be the guy. And even if not, it can be an issue. But if they're all pitching well, then they're all going to pitch well in the playoffs. It's just how it is. I mean, bullpens are a crapshoot in the playoffs anyway, but it's always going to change. Let's see. Floro, in my opinion, is amazing. He pitches phenomenal when we need him to win. I agree. In the lower situations, he was great last night. Absolutely fantastic last night. And it's still, so that's why I want to see Floro in there. I did not forget Wood, Dolores. I took him off. I left him off because there's just not room for him. I'd rather see Stripling in there. I think Stripling's a better pitcher out of the pen. We're going to see more of him. San Diego, you're going to see a lot more of these guys. It's just going to happen. And you know what? Next time, I don't have the time for it, but we're going to do tomorrow. Or Friday when there's another game, I'm going to have the entire roster printed up for me, and we're going to do this. On Friday, we're going to talk about who's going to be in the starting rotation, who's going to be in the bullpen, and who's going to be in the field, who's going to be in the bench, because there's a ton of guys on the bench too. I don't want to miss anybody, and I don't have it all written down, but there's a ton of guys because you only get 25 men, and they have a legit 40 that they can play. It's a really good problem to have. Exactly. Thank you, Brian. He was a machine last night. Exactly. So let's see what else we got here on YouTube. Biggest name left off the pot. I mean, let's just be honest. Chase Utley is not making this playoff roster. It's not going to happen. Okay, and thank you, Raymond Baum. We have Floro for a few more years. I didn't check on it. Julio, no. Julio Urias is not as much. You love the name Julio Urias. You love his pickoff moves from last year. You love him throwing 95, 96 last year. There's so many things that you loved from Julio Urias. He's not that guy right now. He's throwing 92 tops. He has to sit 4 days in between outings in the bullpen. That just doesn't work in the playoffs. So you're not going to see him. He's just not ready. Expect to see more from Julio Urias next year. William L. Wine Jr., what was the announcement we were talking about? The announcement I was talking about is right here. Boom! ESPN LA. ESPN LA has joined in on this fantastic Dodgers Nation postgame show. So from now on, once I get it fixed up for Periscope, from now on Friday, you're going to be able to watch DN postgame on ESPN platform, on ESPN's Periscope, every single night that I am on, and that's going to be most nights. So that's my big announcement right now. This ESPN has joined in with Dodgers Nation, and we are going to be going live. And I'm going to be doing a ton more for ESPN as we get closer. I'm going to take over their Twitter. I'm going to use Periscope in between innings, possibly. But there's a ton more I'm going to be doing with ESPN LA as for this Dodgers Nation postgame and bigger than that. Just remember, I go on ESPN every single day. I am on Monday through Friday with Mason and Ireland, Monday through Friday from 12 to 3. So come listen on there as well, because you're going to get a lot of this same stuff, but this is going to be more in depth. This is always going to be more in depth. But that's the big announcement. We spoke it here into existence. Here since show 1, Andrew Martinez, glad you made it to ESPN 10 Periscope. Bigger things coming. You're the man. You have been here for it. That's what Brian David Ojeda, ESPN LA, real Dodger talk. That's what I love to see, because it is real Dodger talk. You know why? Because they can't talk real on the other stations, because they're not allowed to. We can say whatever the hell we want to, and we're going to tell you the truth, and we're going to see what we see, and we're going to tell you what we see, because it's important that you guys are not dumb. You know what you're seeing, and we want to be there with you, saying the exact same stuff, and commiserating when we need to, and being joyful when we need to, like we have been the last few nights. From Milwaukee, good night, man. Good night. Sorry to see you go, but good night. Let's see. Who will be in the Dodgers bullpen come the playoffs? I just did it. I can't do it again this quickly. I can do it again on Friday, though. On Friday, we'll go through this whole thing once again. Let's see. And he's just coming back from surgery. That's talking about Urias. Yes, you cannot. Congrats. Thank you. All right. Oh, I like this. I'm going to say this in a nice, I'm writing this out here, and I'm going to say it in a nice pinky up kind of voice, because it starts off nicely from Jermaine Armenta. The year was 1918, when Babe Ruth cursed the Red Sox by going to the Yankees. 100 years later, the Dodgers will bury the Red Sox at Fenway Park. Revive the curse! I like it. This is what's happening. Babe Ruth, revive the curse! I put my pinky up just for that, too. Is my left hand. That's my off hand, too. The whole thing just felt weird. But I hope it came across all right. I don't know. I thought it was funny to me. So, no, Sam. Kento is not better than Jansen. No, I don't know. Sam, I'm sorry. Kento is not better than Jansen. Kenta's already said in the 9th inning, it's too much for him. It's too hard. It's a tough place to pitch in the 9th. Ryan Password, am I paid by ESPN now? I was always paid by ESPN. Not for this. I am an ESPN employee. I am the producer of the Mason and Ireland show, Ryan. I have been on ESPN for the last almost 3 years now, but I've started doing this by myself with Dodgers Nation because it was important that I had my Dodgers taken off, and I had a great Gary Lee gave me a great opportunity to come on and talk Dodgers with all of you every night afterwards. So yes, I'm paid by ESPN, but not for this. This is totally on my own. They just saw it and said, okay, you're doing well. We want to jump in on it too. And they'll be here with me all the time now. Is there a way I can be a part of Dodgers Nation, ESPN 710, even though I live in El Paso? You can listen to us in El Paso as much as you want. And you know what? Dodgers Nation is still looking for interns. You can do it from El Paso. Go to DodgersNation.com. They're still looking for interns, I think. So Gary, I apologize if you're not anymore. Sorry, but if you still are, go to DodgersNation.com and find out and become an intern for us. Maybe even from El Paso, you can be my producer on this DN postgame, and we can just talk beforehand. You can text me little stats so I don't have to think about it. I can just be like, hey, Ryan, get me the stat on this, and you'll be able to do that for me, and we'll be a part of it, and I'll talk directly to you. So, yeah, go, but you have to do it through Dodgers Nation. Your show is great. Congrats. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for your... Hey, old school Gabby, I appreciate you, too. I'm happy to be here with you guys. I'm happy to say it. From June Lake, great show, man. Hey, we were just talking about June Lake. Someone actually asked me, Jeremy, someone just asked me about June Lake, actually. That's pretty funny. You're nice. Thank you, Dolores. I'm not going to get into that because, you know what, if you want to wait on hold and listen to somebody not be mad at you, that's fine. It's your choice. Mayo spoke too soon. Looks like a 1-year contract. Ross Cup might be the one with multiple years. Oh, Raymond, see, you messed me up here. This is why I got to do my own research. You're no longer my intern, Raymond. You're out. I'm kicking you out. That's enough out of you. All right. I want Urias to bounce back so young. Next year. I think Matty is going to be clutch down the stretch. He was great at the beginning of the year, and then he had a down stretch, and now he's starting to get hit again. So Matty could start becoming a big player again. Just wait. He goes in waves. Hopefully he's on that high wave. Let's see, Greg, I like this post game so much better than Ross Porter back in the day. Hey, appreciate it, Raphael. I mean, Ross Porter was great. I mean, just a different style, you know. He's a little bit older. He's got he can tell you anything you want to know about the 40s, the 50s, the 60s. Absolutely, he can say all of that stuff. I'm going to be here. This is a new world, right? The new world is all about social media, and in that new social media world, you want to interact directly with me and other Dodgers Nation fans. So you're going to go on Facebook, and you're going to go on Instagram, and you're going to go on YouTube and Twitch and Periscope, and you're going to do all of these things, and you're going to talk to the people that are in the chat room with you while I talk to you guys as well. And it's a big family, and we all talk together, and that's why this is so great. That's why doing these types of things are different than any other platform that you're going to find. And so come back here. This is the place to be from now on. Tell your friends. Tell your parents. Tell your parents' parents. Tell your parents' friends. Get everybody on here because this is the place. If you are a Dodger fan, it's not just me. It's all of Dodgers Nation talking together. And that's what's great about this, and that's why I want to do this. All right. I'm going to get 2 questions left, and then I got to go because it's been an hour. It's been over an hour. You know what? Actually, let's make it this. I'm going to do one question from each platform. How about that? Let's see. Let's start here on Facebook. Love your shout out the other day for Houston Mitchell. Like him. Hey, Houston Mitchell's great. I love Houston Mitchell. He was a big fan of this show right when it started. So Houston, I can text Houston, and he'll be happy to say whatever. I really like Houston. And he was just on the Dodgers Nation Blue Heaven podcast with the real FRG and Kev is your friend. So go check it out. It's on Twitter. It's on Dodgers Nation. You can go get the Blue Heaven podcast. It's out. It's ready to go. I'm a big fan. I try and listen to it every week. Wait, Urias has shoulder surgery, not Tommy John surgery. Yes, Ryan, he did not have Tommy John surgery. He had shoulder surgery. So that's why he's not going to be back. That's why wasn't out for the whole time. He will be back next year. That's the biggest thing. All right, let's go over to Periscope with the last couple questions here. Blue October here. We going to have to show in the playoffs. It looks like who will start most games, Grandal or Barnes? Oh man, you know what? The way that Grandal is playing, I really believe that it's going to be Grandal. I think Grandal has held on to it for the most part, but I think Barnes is going to get time. He is basically Clayton Kershaw's everyday catcher, so you're going to see Clayton. You're going to see game one. You're going to be like, oh my God, it's Austin Barnes. It's because he's always going to be with Clayton Kershaw. So it will be Grandal with the most starts, but that first game is going to be Barnes because he's going to be with Kershaw, and it's the right move. I agree with it 100%. 100%, I believe Barnes should be with him. All right, let's go over to YouTube. That's the last question on Periscope. I'm sorry. Your batting stance resembles who's on the team? I don't know. It's probably a little more like I really like how Justin Turner. When Justin Turner was before, that's how I was, but I'm not as open as he was. I'm probably a little bit more closed. He's a really, really open. I was when he was before, when I was a little bit more closed. I'm not as open as he is. Walker clutch and ready for big wins in the postseason. Thoughts? Dodgers doing 11:30? I believe so. Yes, I think he's ready to go. He has. I hate to use this cliche, but whatever, I'm going to do it anyway. He has ice in his veins. He knows what he's doing. Like, he is a pitcher's pitcher. He is going to be strong. Think about Noah Syndergaard and Jacob deGrom when the Mets beat the Dodgers. It's going to be that type of guy. He is going to be fire in the playoffs. He's going to be a guy that's going to get you deep into games, and I think he's going to win games with behind his arm. 12 strikeouts. I mean, he'll throw at 98, and then he'll throw a 92, and then he'll have like an 88-mile-an-hour curve out of nowhere. He's hitting location, too. He's not just rearing back and throwing. I love Walker, and I think he's going to win a lot of games. All right, last one from there. Now I'm going to come down here to Instagram. Arenado, any big signings or re-signings next year? You know what? I think let's get to that when it gets to be that time. Right now, I do think that there will be some signings. They're going to have money to do it, but I think it's not going to be right away. You think we're going to sign Arenado? No, I don't. I think Arenado is going to do everything. I think that Rockies are going to do anything they can to keep Arenado. And Arenado was just talking about it on the broadcast. He is jealous of the Giants for winning World Series. He's jealous of the Dodgers for winning 5, hopefully 6 straight division titles. So could I see him leaving? Possibly, and I would love for him to be here, but no, I think the Rockies are going to do whatever they can to sign him to big, big, big money. But God, man, he would be great here. Arenado is fantastic, but he plays third. Justin Turner plays third. I'm not moving Turner. Justin Turner is the heart and soul of this team. You do not move Justin Turner at all, period. End of story. So that's what it is. All right, that's it for me tonight, guys. I will be with you again tomorrow on Friday night because they're off tomorrow. San Diego at home here in LA. And remember, listen to ESPN LA 710. I'm going to bring it up to you. Listen to ESPN LA 710 tomorrow. You're going to listen to Keyshawn, LZ, and Travis tomorrow in the morning. They're going to be talking Dodgers, so you're going to want to listen to that on your drive into work. Mason and Ireland, going to be talking it. I guarantee you, come listen to me and Steve Mason, John Ireland, the Mason and Ireland show. They're going to be talking about Dodgers for sure. And the Sedano show, 100%. I don't think Sedano's going to be there tomorrow because he's having a baby. Congratulations, Sedano. But either way, listen to them too because the Dodgers are going to be a top story for the rest of the year until they are winning World Series champions and even after that. So keep listening on them. They will be happy. They will absolutely be talking about this stuff tomorrow on, I got to do it, ESPN LA. If we can just throw up that at ESPN Los Angeles thing real fast, then that would just have that last part. All right. Thank you guys very much. It was a blast. I love talking to all of you. I'll be back with you guys on Friday. Thank you very much. That's 2.5 games up on the Rockies. Can we say it all together? 2.5 games up on the Rockies. I love it. You love it. Let's do it again on Friday. Love you guys. Peace. See you later.